So like, intrigued now, cause like, a lot of people just don't know what they doing, man. I don't really got no intentions behind it. It's not no vision. It's not no goal. You got me invested very much, like, just in your mindset, man. Like, this is terrific conversation. So like, do you feel like you know what you're doing, or is it something that you still figuring out? Cause I'm just taking notes. Like, a lot of these interviews as well, I'm very intricate about who I talk to. That's why I created the Discord and the community and everything, cause we could be around a lot of people all the time, but I'm like noticing that I'm divinely aligning with some very like intriguing minds. So are you aware of like how you become so aware of what you're doing, man? I feel like I'm almost like piping you up right now. I'm gonna shut up.
I think to answer it's a two-part answer, I guess. To answer your question, I feel like I never know what I'm doing. Okay. But I feel like I always feel what I'm doing.
I got you.
But the self-aware part, I think I always kind of just took in everything that was around me, like as much as I could. Like I always like taking in information. Like being too smart never seemed like a bad thing to me.
Like I felt it. I could feel it. So, that's why I'm asking. Yeah.
So I guess like if there was something that I didn't know, I was always the kid that asked too many questions. Not because I wanted to be annoying or I was just trying to stick on something. It was really because I just wanted to know. Like I just wanted to learn. I wanted to figure it out. So that way, the next time I heard it, I would know what it was, and I wouldn't be confused again. Because I'm like, if you teach me once, like I'll know forever. Versus like you just being like, it just is what it is. Leave it alone. Da 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 da. Then I'm never gonna know ever. Like, and then as soon as you tell somebody something, you tell somebody something, and then you be like, I'm not gonna tell you it, or like I'm not gonna explain it to you. That just makes someone want to learn it more. Like that don't do anything but just be like, wait. Now she won't tell me, explain it. Like, nah, tell me. Like, so having people around me, I guess I really shout out the people that surround me, because having people around me that really was okay with me. I'm like, all right, like you want to learn? Like, yeah, I can push you on like this and that. Like, I was just able to pick up a lot of game from just different places. So I think now, like, I have a clear path for what I'm looking for, what I want to do. But I'm never so sure of myself that I'm like, I don't want to take in any new information. I know everything already, or like, oh, even when I do shows and it's a set that a set that I may feel so comfortable with that I might have performed a million times, I still get those first time butterflies. Like, this is my first performance ever. And people, like, it's always funny. People, like, they always ask, like, are you nervous? I'm like, extremely. And they're like, but you seem so calm. And I'm like, yeah, I'm terrified though. I'm like,
shit. Nah, it still feel like that every time.
And they be like, what?
Not for me.
Yeah, you don't feel it, Swanee? Damn.
I love that, John. It's like I used to play sports, play football when I was younger, and it was at first when you step on stage and it's like your heartbeat, you're not scared, and that's a weird way to explain it because you're running at somebody full speed. But it's you're not scared, you're just like excited.
Yeah, it's the adrenaline. It's honestly the adrenaline. I love that feeling too. Like you was explaining, like it's the nervous. I think, but you know what I think it is. I think it's the nervousness mixed with adrenaline that you're just like. I think sometimes, like, especially as Black people, like when we're put in those fight or flight situations, it's really like, I'm not running. No, yeah. So it is what it is.
It's like, I heard this phrase Kanye said one time. He said, "I'm not excited. I'm energized." You know what I mean? So it's like y'all saying it'd be the adrenaline mixed with, you know what I mean, and be ready.
I mean, you're like you said, you step on stage. And what's your stage name? Are you go?
Oh, Jxhar, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the X is O.
Is Jxhar?
No, it's Jxhar.
Oh, Jxhar. Okay,
yeah. But like my artist name is like Jxhar.
Oh, okay. Yeah, and it's funny to see mine is 22 times.
Okay.
And my friends gave it to me last year, and it was like, yeah, this is so now when I hear that, and it's like, yeah, I feel like DMX.
Yeah.
And I'm running on stage like, and then I want to feel the crowd. I'm a crowd person, so I feel like if you're an entertainer, you're a crowd person. You feel that energy when they hit you with it, and then you like, "Yup." You're like, "Yup, time to go now. Now it's go time, and it's you doing your thing." And I understand where you're coming from. Whereas it's the nervous, like when you get on, and it's just like, all right,
Yeah.
it's an all right.
Yeah, it'd be like for 2 seconds. It'd be like for 3 seconds. I'd be like, all right, let's go. You got a mic. You gotta kill it.
I didn't know you had performance experience. So like, that's something I want to dive into because, I mean, you joined our platform as one of the leaders, right? And I think that's very commendable because that just speaks to why I created that space. It's because I wanted people who knew exactly, like you said, where they're going and just was clear on their vision to be able to demonstrate that to our audience. And that's why I wanted to back you consistently with like promotions and opportunities to speak and share your mind. And I'm now 10 times more excited, like what y'all saying, where it's like, I know that this gonna resonate with our community a lot. And so like, talk something about like what you got going on musically, you know what I mean, any like things we can check on, like when you perform. Like I want to learn more about what you've done with the music now. Like
so I run a collective in New York called Runaway Roses. That's what
I seen that like
the chain
SoundCloud or something, I think.
Yeah, so I got the SoundCloud, the Instagram. We got a YouTube page. But yeah, so I run Runaway Roses. And it's at first it started off as a label, but we really started shifting more to a collective. We really started realizing that we didn't really want to sign acts as much as we wanted to help them. Okay. And when you say label, it puts this stigma like, all right.
There's a connotation.
Like, so who you signing? Who's the artist? And it's like, we ain't got to sign you because like we trying to help. Like,
yeah.
You can help someone without like signing your life away. Like,
I mean, I definitely get where you come from because much like I have a collective too, well, pretty much, and so we had them sign contracts. Like if you were gonna be part of whatever we was doing, we had them sign contracts, but the contracts weren't long. It was like a 6-month contract, but it wasn't like we own your master.
Yeah.
Anything you put out, it was like, nah, we just own the right to like, put your stuff out. So if we whatever things we did part of that time frame, we're gonna post, and that's it. And that was the only like stipulation. Of course, there's other things, but that was the main thing. Like we wanted artists to be artists in a place to do it, and like we're gonna give you the resources to do it. We're gonna put you in front of the people that you need to be put in front of, so you can do it. So the same thing, like what you're talking about. Like we just want to help people because you see it every day. Is the most talented person. Everybody has been in a room with somebody who's the most talented person they've ever seen in their life, but because they got screwed over for whatever reason, whether it be through family or bad business deals, they just gave up and they didn't want to do it no more. And it sucks when you see somebody's dream just die. And that's a horrible thing. You don't ever want to see that. Like I know, with your collective, especially in New York, where that's when dreams is like come true in New York. You
come true and die.
Yeah.
He said y'all knew he hopped out.
Yeah.
So how Montana. So how long you been doing the you know what I mean, the collective, or like I don't want to focus too much on the collective. I just want you to finish that point so you can.
Oh yeah.
Segue into what you doing.
So I've been running a collective, really to just say like building up, like not just music, like having something behind it. That's really what it was about, like, and not just about me, just being able to the artists that I'm working with, like be able to help them out, like whether that's like I'm producing a project for them, we running music videos, whatever we got to do. But we've been running it since 2017, 2018, I'd say.
That's good.
Yeah, so like that I've always kind of had like it in the background, just like at first it was the Heartbreakers Club, and then we had to have a little have a little rebrand. We had to come back, and then we stuck with Runaway Roses. So, but yeah, me personally though, I just dropped the album 7/22. So that's actually my birth time. Yeah, that was one at 7:22 p.m. So I felt like this album was a rebirth in certain ways. I felt like everything was coming full circle.
So you have a lot of music out already.
Yeah. So this album, to me, the reason why everything just felt full circle, and it was so strange because the first album I ever made was it was called 2 A.M. Fantasy, and it's funny because that was the album I went to. Make a long story short, I went to one school, SUNY Fredonia, upstate. I'll drop a name. I don't give a fuck. So went to school upstate in New York, cold as fuck near Buffalo, like an hour from Buffalo. So you imagine like 30 minutes from Canada. Like I was that close. Like so went there for music business. All my professors were all like old like rock legends that like it was like it was like all right cool, but they were kind of stuck in their way.
Oh, I knew what you
So
were
there
gonna say,
wasn't a
man.
lot of
Yeah.
game that they could really push you onto. Where like they were like where you be talking to them like ask them all right well like what do you think about Spotify and getting into playlists and doing different things like that, and they'd be like you gotta focus on the tours, man, and like building up the local fan base and doing the kit. What the fuck are you talking about? Like, what are we learning in class? Like, why am I paying $20,000 for you just to tell me like you should be doing open mics? Have you thought about doing a marketing plan? Yeah, bro. What do you think I'm doing? Like,
I didn't need to come here.
like I didn't need to. I could have read a book. Like,
right.
I could have went anywhere. Like there's plenty
That's
of
a
YouTube
fact.
videos. There's plenty of mad things that you could just. Now you could just open up your phone. I'm like, it's different. It's not like the same it was. So, I transferred, went to UArts, and my album that I made, the first album I ever made that was like went out on Spotify Apple Music, was the album that I submitted in as like my portfolio for school, and I was like, they accepted me with. So I really felt like now me leaving the school, me putting out this kind of album as my senior project, it really is like full circle.
Yeah, I felt that. Yeah, it's some real shit, and it's like what you said about the school part. Like I want to double in on that because it's like you said, I went to school for information technology, but like my dad, he been doing computers for Northrop Grumman. It's like a tech company like for the government and stuff. So for anybody who don't know and stuff, so it's like I grew up around computers. Like my dad used to put me in front of computers back in like '98. I used to be file sharing and do all that cool stuff. So it's like I used to just went to college so I could get paper to get paper. You know what I mean? But then I started realizing like, man, this is boring and y'all not teaching me nothing that you can't learn in the manual of the Dell computer you buy.
Yeah.
Like this is information inside the handbook.
A
So,
manual
like,
and internet. That's all
you know
you
what I'm
need.
saying? So I was like, I started doing stuff on my own, and like, I commend you on, utilizing even your own standard to meet their standard with your senior project. That's commendable, bro.
Yeah, thank you. I definitely appreciate it. As soon as I knew that I could like turn it into an album as a senior project, I was like, all right, we lit. Like, I had my guy, shout out drummer Sash. He engineered and executive produced the project, and it really sounds like amazing to me because it's homegrown. Like I was sitting there with the producer. I was really like I produced some songs myself, and I had another producer from like maybe 2 records, but all of it was really in house. So it's like you get a different feeling when you're making the beat from scratch.
Yeah.
Versus like when you're just kind of like swiping through YouTube,
Right.
just like I'm gonna pick this one, add this to the cart, add this to the cart. So, and all the artists that's on it, like I really fuck with them. Like those are really my friends. Like it's different. It's different when you kind of just send out a verse to someone. You're like, all right, let me kind of get this name, run up the numbers a little bit, do this thing, and everybody gets it. Sometimes you got to do it. It's a good look, but when all those people, like, you could just call up on any given day, like, I could FaceTime any of them right now. And they just be like, yo, what's up? You got an interview? Oh, what's poppin', bro? Like they real people. They're real genuine people. So, and they're all amazing artists. Aubriana, Supreme Carl, Sprincity Chris, Isaiah Keaton, Yende, CSW, my guy.
Oh shoot.
Yeah.
Bro.
Yeah.
I didn't know y'all knew each other.
Yeah, that's my guy.
Bro.
Yeah, he's on the project on Relevant.
Oh, so y'all make good music.
Yeah, I be out
I
here.
get them t-shirts made, man.
Right, you know what I'm saying?
Nah,
Y'all make
it's,
good.
it's funny you say that, and it's crazy. Y'all both acknowledging it. Philly is literally, I say this all the time, Philly is the biggest, smallest city in the world. It's not like New York. It's not like LA, like all these major cities. Not like Atlanta. Like none of those major, I guess, like black cities where, like, we're a metropolis.
Yeah.
No, Philly, if you from Philly, you live in